Return when you are ready to leave, and we will speak of the path you must take.
So, your father sent you off to Neverwinter. As if everything that's happened tonight isn't enough adventuring for one lifetime. I'm hoping that you'll be back soon enough after you reach the city, but most people who leave West Harbor don't come back. It'll be a shame to see you go. We lost a lot of harbormen to the attack. Hopefully your father's right and there will be no more attacks once the shard is gone. Still, the village will need every sword arm it has. As a member of the militia, my sworn duty is to defend West Harbor. I can't just turn my back on that. I've got some bandages here, though I hope you won't need to use them. You can also have my share of the loot that we found. You'll need it more than I do. Well, if you're sure. Something to remember you by, eh? Wish I could go with you, but the defense of the village is important too. I'll do my best to keep the place standing for you when you return. I want to hear about all of your adventures. Not really. There's an inn north of here along the road. It's the only one between here and the edge of the mare from what I understand. Plenty of lizard folk in the swamp, of course. Just stick to the roads and you'll be fine, though. At least, that's what I've heard. Good luck. And if you run across the one who killed Amy, stick a blade through his heart for me. She deserves at least that.
So, Dagon is sending you to Neverwinter, eh? I can't say I approve. If it were a militia matter, I wouldn't send you alone. But I don't have any right to tell him how to raise his child. Can you at least tell me why you're going? Your father wouldn't tell me a thing. You're less cryptic than your father. But not by much. It won't be easy reaching Neverwinter. I've traveled that way once or twice. It's a dangerous journey, especially for one traveling alone. You might want to ask around the village. If you're going to leave, some folks might be able to offer some help. You may not have trained under me, but I've always enjoyed your company. And you acquitted yourself well with the village defense. Here, take this shield. It's always served me well. And even if you don't use it, you can sell it for some gold that might do you some good. The road is as wild as a road can get and still be called a road. And that was before the patrols stopped coming. There's only the one road in the Mare, and that leads to us. There's a small inn on the way. Makes most of his trade off adventurers and the like. Galen, you remember him? The merchant? Well, he says the road is even worse than before. Lizardlings and other creatures have been sighted, and in large numbers. He's about the only merchant that comes our way. Does it once or twice a year, and thank Joaquin he does. We don't have a blacksmith, so he sells us what we can't make ourselves. With the way he loves to stop and chat, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught up with him. Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say is I wish they'd start up again. Might have prevented the attack on us, or at least given us some warning. Well, you already know about that war they had against Luskan a while back. Nasty business that was. Lost too many Greycloaks in that campaign, from what I hear. The whole city was burned to the ground. Every last house. And that it was. If you go there now, you wouldn't recognize it. It was rebuilt in just over a year. By gnomes, I hear. And the war killed many men. The Watch just doesn't have the numbers they used to. One of the Watch's marshals, though, is a harborman, like you and I. You remember Cormac, right? He sometimes makes his way here. Lizardlings you already know, although the ones around here are the weakest of their lot. So if you see others, expect a tough fight. The swamp beetles and other critters have been more active too. Adar said he saw a whole nest of them not 2 moons back, scuttling around the Mare. And lastly, stick to the road. I hear there are spiders, walking dead, and worse, off the road. Of course. Like what? So, you want to hear a story? Look out for the swamp elf. You see, an elf never stops growing, and usually they head to Evermead before they get much bigger than human-sized. But one of the eldest lives in our own swamp. Huge he is, tall as a tree. It's the truth, I say. This giant elf has been known to hurl rocks great distances, and it has the evil eye. If it ever locks eyes on you, it turns you into a stone. Not stone, but a stone. Just look around the swamp, and you'll see hundreds of its victims. And just by looking at them, you can't tell if it's just an ordinary rock, or whether it used to be a man. If you listen quietly, late at night, you can even hear them. Just don't look him in the eyes.
This incursion is the most noteworthy event that's happened here in years. I had high hopes for Amy. She was a rare find in West Harbor. A shame she failed to heed her first lesson. Always listen to Tarmas. Not that I expect you would understand, but she was the only one capable of holding a coherent conversation with me. Go if you must, but mysteries remain here that need to be answered. I plucked her from the mud, hoping to help her rise above the common rabble in this village. Believe me when I say her loss pains me more than you think. You have your moments of wit, I grant you, but Amy was a rare gem in this place. Help with the journey, you say? Advice. Advice is what I can give. Use that skull of yours for more than a shield. Amy obviously failed to learn this lesson. A fool girl. As functional as the famous harborman thick-headedness is, it still won't prove much help against, let's say, a lizardling sword or javelin. Words of wisdom aren't enough, yes? Typical for a harborman. If any of you had a lick of sense, you'd live in a decent part of the realms. How you all got used to the smell is beyond me. The swamp has many denizens, most dangerous, and all of them particularly irksome. But these new pests are not native. So it stands to reason they traveled through leagues of swamp trails and this odious smell to get here. Anyone that desperate has to have a good reason, so whatever you're carrying, guard it carefully. Anyone fool enough to go through that much effort to come here won't give up easily. I've already lost Amy to their determination. Suffice it to say that I find the bustle of city life even less endearing than the mosquitoes here. And here I can work quietly, in exchange for teaching some mud farmer's child a bit of lore every now and again. There most certainly is. That man says decidedly too much. It's true that part of the reason I came to West Harbor is because of the war that was fought here. You've probably heard it mentioned from time to time. And no doubt you've also heard the same vague accounts I have, assuming you could pry even that from the other villagers. You really are a harborman. People here possess the sort of subtlety commonly found in raging barbarian hordes. Ask something else. I have nothing more to say on this matter. The whole affair is quite mysterious, I'm afraid. Demons were involved, that much is certain. But, curiously enough, there are no clear answers to who fought whom and why. I think part of it is the remoteness of the location, yes? There were few battles in the war, and all of them were fought in the Mare of Dead Men. An evil wizard was behind the whole thing. There were very few Neverwinter troops that actually saw any action, and none of them survived. And what would they say? I'm guessing that the harbormen are as much in the dark in this as the Neverwinter archivists are. The battle that was fought here didn't involve heralds and flowery declarations. It involved the wholesale slaughter of two forces, with your village in the middle. The entire village was nearly destroyed, and almost no one who stayed in West Harbor survived the night. You really are a harborman. People here possess the sort. Ask something else. I have nothing more to say on this matter. Of course. In fact, I would prefer.
Have you said your farewells? Take anything you need from our home. Speak with the wizard Thomas as well. He may have a few odds and ends that he'd be willing to part with. To get to Neverwinter, take the road that borders the Starling Farm out of town. It is the only road through the Mare of Deadmen, so following it will be easy. The road itself has not been patrolled for some time, and few travel it. Move quickly, and you may be able to avoid the many beasts of the mare. I suspect you will see your share of battle before you reach Neverwinter. Stray from the road, and the danger is even greater. I've made it known that you travel directly for the city, in the hopes that the enemy will pursue you along the high road. Instead, you will head to the small port town of Highcliff once you are clear of the swamp. From there, you will seek passage on a ship to Neverwinter. There is a ship named the Double Eagle that will await you in Highcliffe. Her captain, Flynn by name, is a trusted friend of mine and will ferry you safely to the city. Your trip to Neverwinter will be quicker by water, and my attempt at misdirection may allow you to reach Highcliffe before the enemy becomes aware of your true route. I have nothing more to say. It is time for you to go, my son. Each moment you remain here brings greater risk to the village.
Now that we're outside, maybe you'd like to tell me what you said again, slowly this time, so you could think about what you're saying.
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself, dwarf. Maybe you've come looking for trouble. Unless you have a little coin to convince us otherwise. Nothing that concerns you. This is between us and the dwarf, and whatever coin he happens to have with him.
Ah, you're welcome to try to take it if you're all game. You all can't be frightened of one little dwarf, can you? If you're afraid of being humiliated in front of the stranger here, well, now that's another matter.
We're not frightened of either of you, and it seems to me you need to learn a lesson.
Outnumbered? Well, I suppose they could bring some more friends if they wanted. That might even things up a bit.
This matter is between us and the dwarf here. It's none of your concern.
Come on, someone tried to hit me already. Even the newcomer here sees that you're all too afraid to do anything.
All right, I've heard enough of this. Come on, boys, let's deal with the dwarf and his new friend.
Well now, that was a good fight. A shame they had to resort to weapons, but if they have to keep the odds even, can't blame them too much. Name's Kelgar, by the way, of the clan Iron Fist. I've been making my way along the coast for some time now, stopped in the Willow here for a brief fight. Ha! Even the odds! They didn't stand a chance in the first place. Obviously, you haven't heard of me. So, tell me, what brings you out along the mare? Roads aren't exactly safe, you know, and they're getting worse all the time. Sights, eh? I think we've both seen what the mare has to offer in the way of battle, and neither one of us are impressed. I say we step inside the Weeping Willow here and share our stories over a few of the innkeeper's best. So then I punched him in the face for asking, and while he was trying to pick his teeth off the floor, his friend decided to add a few choice words about my heritage. So I punched him too. So to make a long story short, I take pride in what I do, fighting. It's something you can't get enough of, and it's something where there's always room for improvement if you apply yourself, stay focused, and keep swinging. And that's why I'm headed to Neverwinter. I heard there's a house of monks there. A monastery, right? I heard they'll train anyone, just for the asking. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity. Aye, that's the short of it. Well, as it happens, I didn't always want to become a monk. What happened was that...
The Kalacha! Find it!
Well, look at this. Our next round of practice just arrived. Well now, I've had a good time so far. And the way you attract trouble, I haven't had this much fun since that tavern back at Bogan's Pass where I was using that trestle table as a battering ram. Oh, look, we're heading in the same direction and you seem to have more enemies than friends. What say we travel together? Might be able to teach each other a few things. Good. I'd be glad for the company and the conversation. And don't you worry about me keeping up. Kelgar Iron Fist carries his own weight. I won't be slowing you down.
What, demon? No screams for us? Maybe we should brand you. Maybe that'll loosen your tongue.
Leave me alone! I've done nothing to you.
Well, now Commander Valis will be happy to hear that, he will. It means his work here is all done. He can just give up the fort and go home.
Still, there's just the small matter of those bounties on bandits he posted. And a bandit with demon blood, well, there's no telling how much that's worth.
Of course, you could tell us where your camp is. Valis will pay more for that, he will. And we won't even have to butcher the lot of you.
I told you I'm not with those bandits. Or are you deaf and stupid?
Stupid? Here we were, thinking about letting you live. Now you've gone and changed our minds.
Hey, hold on. Looks like she's got friends, she does.
This don't concern you. We're soldiers from Fort Lock, hunting bandits.
That we are. Caught this demon trying to raid our camp, and we were about to deal with her.
You think you're going to stop us, are you?
You know, Valis might pay for 3 bandit bounties. He's not one for asking questions.
Especially about a demon, a runty dwarf, and a dirty harborman who doesn't know enough to keep walking!
Runty dwarf? I know you cowards aren't talking to me, or you'll be talking to my fist next.
Good enough for me. Let's kill them all and I'll sort out the tale later.
You come from? I mean, one moment I thought I was dead, and then suddenly you're here. And look at all this blood. Sorry if I sounded surprised. It's just, you know, people don't usually help me out like that. Especially, well, people like you. You know, nice-looking people. Does that make me a damsel in distress? Oh, I hope not. I hate those women. Hey, you're nice. Sorry, I don't mean to sound so surprised. Well, actually I am. I mean, it's just, well, unexpected. I mean, once folks catch sight of me, usually it's the horns, they run in the other direction. And all those tales about tieflings being cursed don't help much either. I'm Nishka, by the way. I'm really glad you came when you did. Wasn't really sure how I'd get out of that one. Of course, they never would have caught me in the first place if that invisibility potion I'd bought hadn't been watered down. If I ever see that merchant again... Well, I was actually trying to pass the fort by. Make my way farther south. Well, I thought that potion I bought would help. You see, once the local garrison sees me, they tend to want to throw me in a cell or attack me on sight. Of course, the potion wears off right as I cross paths with those thugs from Fort Lock. They were looking for easy bounties, and I showed up right on time. It's been that way ever since the new fort commander posted bounties on bandits. Some of his soldiers have been hunting down anyone they find on the road and claiming they're bandits. It's just banditry of a different sort. They rob the travelers and then get the bounty too. The roads are even less safe now than they were before. Do you think I could join you? Just for now. I won't get in the way, I promise. It's just that I don't know how long I can survive on my own. And, well, I do owe you one.
Can't say I trust her. Tieflings will stab you in the back and run off with your purse the moment you drop your guard.
Yeah? Well, dwarves are squat, smelly drunks who'll chop someone in half just to show they're tough.
Oh, is that so? Well, why don't you step down here and say that again?
He started it!
Leave her here. She'll be food for the other beasts on the road soon enough.
Thanks. I won't let you down, I swear. I think those Fort Lock thugs have my gear locked away here.